What's up, guys, and welcome back to Project Z Garage. Today we're going to be doing an unboxing on a new clutch system that I picked up for the 350Z. It's a new company that's, I guess, not super new, but it's been the first I've heard of them, and their system that they've come up with seems really cool. And the company that I'm talking about, as you can see the hat I'm wearing, is UniClutch. UniClutch has a couple of different systems that are kind of like an all-in-one system that is supposed to give you the best of both worlds. We're talking about the ability to hold large amounts of torque while still giving stock-like engagement and noise and things like that from a clutch. You know, the biggest thing that we all kind of performance have to deal with is the kind of downside of upgrading your clutch, which is more noise, harsher engagement, you know, poor street characteristics when driving it, to be able to hold, you know, higher amounts of torque and horsepower from our engines. Now, my issue is that I'm coming from a multi-disc clutch that I've had for a very long time. I mean, I've had the 350Z for over 20 years now, or close to 20 years, probably over 20 years. And I don't even remember what the stock clutch felt like. You know, we've always, from the beginning, we've done a ton of work to the Z. The Z is making well over 600 horsepower, and it has a built motor. We also rev a lot higher than the standard DE motor revved before. And for the longest time, you know, we've gone from a car that I would like to drive, that I used to drive all the time. I used to daily the Z back in the day, and now to the point where, from all the upgrades, it's not that much fun to drive on the street. Like, I can't decide, like, one day it's nice out and I want to take it to work, or, you know, just go for a drive, because I'm panicking that there's going to be traffic, it's going to be noisy, people are going to be like, oh, is something wrong with your car, because of how loud the clutch is when you drive through parking lots and just cruising. Now, I'm really excited to try this clutch out and see if it's going to bring back some of that drivability that I'm looking for, to where now, if I'm just not, it's not just fun on the track, that it's also fun to drive on the street to and from. You know, the car's not daily anymore, but I would like to still be able to take it out on the weekends, maybe during the week when the weather is nice, you know, drive it to the parking lot, drive it to work, you know, drive it back and forth, and not having it, not only enjoying it when I'm wringing it all the way out. You know, I like to be able to do both, and I'm so excited to figure out if UniClutch can do this and can provide this for my application. From what I see online from other users, that they seem to have really good high ratings for this clutch, and I'm very excited to see if we can also get those kind of those characteristics back, to where it's close to what stock is, which honestly I don't even remember what stock is anymore. But let's go into what UniClutch is and what they offer. So there are, I think, 3 or 4 different stages of clutches you can get from UniClutch, or stages. One is UniClutch Sport, which is more for daily driving / a little bit of performance. There's UniClutch Track, which is what which we got from them, which we purchased, and that's more for spirited driving and higher horsepower builds. There's also a UniClutch for terrain, for off-roading, and then I believe there's a UniClutch Quad, which is more for like crazy high horsepower. I'm looking at my notes here and what we have here. So I think Quad is good for close to 2,400 Newton meters of torque. That's crazy. You know, that's some super high horsepower torque ratings at the Flywheel. Now, the one that we went to, let's go more into the UniClutch Track edition is what we got, or stage that we got. So the UniClutch Track, it's good for, I believe, the one we have. We're gonna do an unboxing. I know it's an unboxing video. We haven't even gone to the unboxing yet, but let's just talk about it. The 10-inch clutch pack is good for 1250 Newton meters. Peak. Yeah. I believe that's the 10-inch, and the 8-inch is 930 Newton meters of torque. Now, that's crazy. And then also, it's because it's these seeing the whole, and I think that's the whole reason why it's named UniClutch, right? Because it's a module sealed clutch unit. It's all together, all in one. It doesn't use the engagement points or the friction points of your stock flywheel. It actually has it all internal in itself. So you can technically not have to buy another flywheel. You can use your stock flywheel, slap this clutch on, break it in, and you're good to go. Now for us, we went with their flywheel that's a lightweight flywheel. And this way, because we're coming from an aftermarket setup that's on the car already, which is a multi-plate clutch and a lighter flywheel. And the thing is, even though they do offer some compatibility with aftermarket flywheels, sometimes I'm like, it's better off just to let's go all in. Let's do everything that it works with, just so that we don't run into issues when we're taking the car apart. And the last thing you want to do is be on your back and realize when you're pulling a transmission out that the clutch doesn't attach to the flywheel. I mean, the customer service there has been awesome. They've been a huge help in figuring this stuff out and pretty much sending me everything we need to get this bolted on to the 350Z. Now, let's just go over some of the stuff. So we have a bunch of boxes here, as you can see right over here. First is this one here that they send. They pretty much send us everything we need to do the install. You can order everything off their website. Please check the description below. I'll put all the links to their website and where you can go to get it. So they also sent us out what we have here. The small box here, which has, it looks like the pilot bearing. So for the 350Z, the pilot bearing for it. We have this is the, okay, so we have the 10-inch, we're running the 10-inch kit that they have, and this is the bolt and spacer kit. So there's all the bolts and screws that we need to fit correctly. Let's put this down there. What else we have here? Now, this here is the flywheel. Okay. So this is so these are the splines. So this is what you're going to put into your UniClutch system to mate up to the transmission that you're running. The cool thing is that if you're running a different transmission than what the stock came with, you can find the correct kind of spindle setup that you need to fit onto your input shaft of your transmission for this to work. So technically this clutch can work for multiple different cars and transmissions in one setup. You don't need multiple ones. This looks like, here we have, this looks like the throwout bearing for the transmission. So that's pretty much everything we need, and we want to try to replace everything, right? I want to replace everything, start fresh. So it's really nice that they included all of that with our order. What else do we have there? So this, I believe, is our Flex Foot Fit Kit. So let's open this up. Probably should have got a knife. That's probably smart. Let me get a knife. Alright, I'm back. Let's not cut myself on camera. This is really cool. is kind of like I kind of want to say a module system where you can kind of use the same clutch to fit like multiple different applications, which is amazing, you know, that you can do that. And the ability for it to hold as much torque as it's rated for is amazing. Alright, so on these, there's a little scanning thing that on here that you can do with your phone so that you can register it. Also, it gives you online instructions and everything to do the install in your car. So let's pull this off. And here we have, this is the fitting kit that's going to go onto your flywheel. This is really cool. So cool. It's like machined here, and it has the different letters. So the instructions will tell you what letter needs to go where, so you can clock this on the clutch and flywheel. It tells you which side has to go to the clutch side, which side goes to the flywheel, and this is probably the bolts that you're going to be using with this kit here to attach everything, because you will need to adjust where your flywheel, not your flywheel, the clutch, where the clutch sits on the flywheel for engagement, for the proper engagement and so forth. So that's the first box here. Let's open up the next one. Next one is this one. So I know they do, oh man, this thing's heavy. So they normally do Newton meters. So 1750 Newton meters is 1300 foot-pounds of torque at the flywheel. That's crazy that a system like this can hold that much torque. So let's open this up. Honestly, this is the first time, so I'm seeing everything the same as you guys. Let's open this box up. Okay, this is really cool. It comes with a cool little container here. Yikes. Just take this out the way. Oh man, this thing is heavy. Oh, this is really cool. I don't know what I'm going to do with this pouch after I'm done. There we go. Cool little pouch. So we have fitment instructions. Let's see what's in here. Very cool. We got some swag, some stickers, some looks like oops. Fresheners, air fresheners to hang. Now check this out, guys. So this is our brand new UniClutch track edition or track model clutch. Very cool. Really well packed. This is awesome. Very well packed. I wonder how we can we pull this out? I think we gotta pull it out. And we'll put it on our mat here so you guys can get a better look at it. Okay, so you see the back there. Let me turn it around. So this is the module system here. Really cool. Awesome. There's the fingers for the pressure plate. So the pressure plate's right there. You can see the stack, the clutch stack, which is really cool. Yeah, let's whew. Put this down. Let's close this. I think that's everything in there. I might have to open it up to see if there's anything else in there. But let's put this down. Alright. Now we have one more box. These are gonna come in handy. Let's get this one open. So this should be the flywheel for the 350Z. Very cool. So we got a technical bulletin in here. So we have a sensor ring. That we need to install. Get this open. So we have a brand new set of flywheel screws. So this is what we're going to use to attach it to the back of the motor. These are the, I believe this is what we call the, what is this? This is the sensor ring. So this is a sensor ring that we need to attach to the flywheel. Some more screws. That's got to be for the sensor ring. Here we go. Here we have our brand new flywheel. Awesome, right? As you can see, we now have spaces here where normally your clutch would be clamping onto, right? This would be the friction plate that's on your flywheel that would rub onto or you know, kind of mate with to get your torque and horsepower to your wheels. Now you don't need this anymore. You don't need the face of it anymore, so they can lighten it by removing that, and this way the clutch can do what it needs to do. What else we have in here? There's some more screws. There. Now what I'm guessing is, let's see here. A lot of information we're going through here. So we got two different. We have the DHR motors, VHR, VQ37 VHR. We have a DE motor. So the earlier models run the SR4045, which is, they sent us both, which is cool, in case we did a upgrade or an engine swap. We can technically, we have everything to reuse this clutch on a bunch of different types of transmission and engine setups. It's sick. It really is sick. So this is the correct one for our model. Just taking a look here, seeing how this lines up. Pretty cool. And UniClutch sends you all the information you need. There's links and tutorials and pretty much directions with torque specs, everything you need to get this done correctly for your car. So I'm super excited to get this on the Z and to report back to you guys what we can do with this. You know, I want to get the Z into possibly the high 10s, on pump gas. When I say pump gas, not corn. I'm talking about, you know, 93 octane fuel, possibly. Because honestly, the Z, it's not my everyday car, and from friends and other people that use ethanol gas, you know, E85, when the car sits or when it's cold out, especially in the Northeast, like the Z sits all winter, they have a lot of issues with the fuel gumming up and becoming an issue. So I haven't had any issues running 93 octane. We came super close at the last event to run that high 10 that we were looking for on pump gas. The car did an 11.2, and I was on the brakes because we were running in the 11.5 competition, which honestly the car was just done. We had no business in being in a competition or event for that class. We were just trying to get as much seat time as we could. And since then, it's been a couple of years, and I haven't had a chance to get the car back on the track. And because the clutch is such a pain to deal with, I don't want to drive it normally, like on the street. So I'm super excited to have this. I'm super excited to see if we can get the Z where we kind of roll it back from being just a track car, which is never what I wanted it to be. I wanted it to be kind of a ultimate street car that I could take to the track if I wanted to and have some fun. It's gotten to the point where it's only fun when I take it to the track, and a lot of times you're beating up on the clutch, especially those clutches, those multi-disc clutches that after they get warm up, they get super grabby. They make a ton of noise when you have the clutch depressed. You know, it just was not fun to drive on the street. And I'm hoping that this will bring us back to where we want to drive the car more. And we're gonna have to, because we're gonna have to break this in. I believe, don't quote me on this, you have to do about 500, I think they say 500 miles on the clutch, or around there. I think they really just want you to bed in the clutch itself. So you want around, you know, 400 or 500 miles of city driving where you stop and go, where the clutch has times where you're kind of like feathering the clutch to get it to bite. And same thing like when you bed brakes in, right? You're not gonna go all out because you can glaze your rotors over if you just slam on the brakes with brand new pads. So you want to slowly let some material move on to the rotors and vice versa. You know, you kind of want that to where it starts bedding in and you get the bite you need. And with a clutch, it's so that you can handle the torque you need. And once this is bedded, once we bed it in and we break in the clutch, we are going to, honestly, you will know the truth if this thing can handle what it handles, because we aren't the highest horsepower for this range. Well, we definitely do beat the hell out of clutches. I'll tell you that right now. We launch the Z at the track. That same event, I think I must have done 30 passes of like all out, dropping the clutch, like flooring it, and we will beat the hell out of this clutch once it's broken in, and when we reach the time when we need to really test it out at the track. So I'm really excited, guys. I hope you stay tuned. This is just the unboxing right now, kind of show you all the parts that came with the kit that we got. Big thanks to UniClutch for working with us, and kind of you know, really, I have to say, customer service has been great. I went to go, you know, get this this clutch system. I was just excited to try it out. I didn't care, you know, whether they were interested in our story and our car or not, and they were. They were really helpful. They worked with me to figure out what would work for my clutch, for my power levels, for what I want to do, and they came up with this kit here to work for my 350Z, which is running the built DE motor from Vinny 10 Racing. Definitely check those guys out. I love those guys. Those guys have been awesome. I've had my car for a very, very long time, so you know they do good work if that motor is lasting this long, you know, because we drove it 3 hours to the track, ran, maybe did 30, 35, 40 passes, trying to figure out, you know, what's wrong, what's working, what's not working, what's the best way to launch. We ended up blowing out the bushings that are on the what do you call it? I guess they're the traction bars or the camber arms on the back of the Z, because those I never upgraded, never thought that I needed to, because I really am not big into the car being super low. We are on coilovers and everything, but again, we got to fit the slicks, the tires on the back, so I never really lowered it super low. But we ended up damaging those, and that ended up screwing up our 60-foot times. And now that we are working on that, we're going to get the Z back. There's going to be a lot more videos on the channel about the Z and about us doing installing this, the UniClutch Track Edition, or Track, yeah, I guess it's the Track Edition, of us installing the UniClutch Track Edition, and also first drive, testing it out. Once it's broken in, then we're going to take this sucker to the track, and then we're going to really see what this thing can do. And the goal is can we hit a high 10? So if we get a 10.9, I'm happy, you know. But that's amazing for a car that is fully loaded as far as leather seats, heated seats, everything in it. You know, the car's not stripped down. It is a touring edition. It's a very heavy car, as it's set up now, because it's a street car. So I want to get the car down to a high 10 with me driving it. I'm sure someone lighter could probably cut it. You know, you got a 300-pound driver plus everything that's already in the car. You know, we ran an 11.2, and we slowed down before the end because we were kind of trying to compete in the 11.5 class, but kind of trying to run our best. And last minute I kind of got on the brakes just to see if I could beat the person, or kind of beat the time the other person had. We ended up overshooting it. We ran an 11.2, and we're close still. We're close still. Because that's even with the spare tire and everything in the trunk. I didn't even take any of that out because we were trying to slow ourselves down to get into that 11.5. But, you know, that's besides the point. You'll hear about that later in another video. But right now, check the description. I'll put all the links in the description where you can get to the website for UniClutch. Definitely reach out to them. Even if you're just interested and want to see if they have something for you, check out the website, see what they offer. Also, if they don't have something for your car, reach out. They might be able to work with you and get something put together to work for your car, which is amazing. Like, honestly, there's not many manufacturers or businesses now, I feel, that are willing to work with anyone to get them up and running. They really look like they want people to use their products, run their products, and they stand behind their products, which is awesome, and I can't wait to try this out on the Z. Alright guys, like, share, and subscribe, and we'll catch you guys in the next video.